Dear Madame Olga Kirillova and my esteemed colleagues attending the conference, I'm quite sorry that I cannot attend the conference in person. Olga invited me to give a presentation on the evolving landscape of STEAM publications and journals in China mainland. My name is Wei Yang. I'm a professor of Zhejiang University, and Zhejiang University is located in Hangzhou. And I was also the former president of Zhejiang University. And I was also the former president of the National Science Foundation of China. And it's my pleasure to share with you about the situations in China. And I'll first mention my father, Dr. K.H. Yang, and he received a Bachelor of Science degree now. And he received his PhD degree from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, United States, in 1946. And then he back to China. After staying in China for 3 years, he was recommended for further study in Moscow. So he spent 3 years from 56 to 58 in the Moscow Petroleum Institute and to study petroleum chemistry. So when he came back, he participated in the establishment of a new university, the China Petroleum University. And later on, he became the president of the university, and his statues now erected in the campus of the university. And there is even an asteroid named after him now in the sky. So, so my father told me a lot of things about the former Soviet Union. So he was very fond of Soviet Union. So I myself has visited Russia several times. My recent trip to Russia is 2018, is about 4 years ago. I had a delegation of the Chinese delegation to attend the 2018 annual meeting of the Global Research Council that was held on the May 14 to 16 in Moscow of Russia. And the meeting is all the sponsors, founders, academies of the world. And that was hosted by the Russian Foundation for Basic Science and the National Research Foundation of Korea. So this is a photo I taken from the webpage of a Global Research Council. So this is me, and this young guy is my assistant. And I would like to share with you some recent data of scholarly output from China mainland. So these are some pictures of Zhejiang University. And so these data come from Scopus, and with the help of Miss Xiaoling Kang of Elsevier. And here you can see a rapid growth of scholarly output from China. That is red curve. And in the year 2020, it just exceeds the scholar outcome from United States, but still smaller than the European Union, 28 countries combined. Okay. And with the rapid rise of quantity, the quality is also steadily improved. You can see this red curve. In 1996, it's only about the world average value of 38% of the world average. So this is the field-weighted citation impact, and one means the world average, and in the year 1996, China is very low, and gradually it goes up. Sometimes goes down, then goes up. And to 2020, it raised to the level of about 110% of the world average. So we are, the quality improved, but still is lower than these countries or region or unions. Okay. More surprising is the top cited articles contributed from China, as evidenced by this red curve, very rapid growth. So it is now comparable to the contributions from the United States. So this is United States and Germany. You can see these are about the same. So the top one cited work from China, that means the high impact articles are now growing very, very fast from China. And in this period of time, so we have made a lot of effort for the so we're talking about how we restore the ecology of research. So I was the former president of Zhejiang University. So when I was the president, so I led a drive for the research misconduct. So there was a report in Nature in the year 2012, and the title of the report is called Zero Tolerance. And that means a university cracks down on misconduct in China. So they take my pictures in the one location of my campus. And my students like this picture very much. When they want me to have a photo with them, they always want me to make this pose, and they'll make the group photo with me together, okay? So with all the effort on the campaign, on the training, on the very strict for the people who violate the research integrity, then you can see the retraction ratio. That is the retraction same year. In China, that value was picked in 2010, but then it's quickly coming down. At the peak time, it was about 5 to 6 times of the world average, and currently it's about twice the world current the average. It's still not good, but we are has already passed this peak. Well, and just 3 years ago, I wrote an editorial for the National Science Review. This is a general scientific journal in China, and with a very high impact factor, about 20. And the editorial name is called The Long March for Healthy Research Ecology. Okay. Next, we'll talk about the publication reform in China. So before that, we'll give you 3 examples. If you look at the globally, we'll see that there's a big gap between the contributors and the location of the journals. For example, there's one journal called Composite Science and Technology, and I am one of the editors of the journal. And the contribution from China 20 years ago is only about 10%. And now it's above 50%. So this journal is the top journal in composite with an impact factors 8.58 currently. And also the contribution from Asia, you can see this is already approaching 80% now. So that the contribution are from Asia, but the journal is based in Europe or in United States. So that's one of the situations which has. And another thing is, if you want to look at the SCI papers from journals based in China mainland, you will see the percentage of these journal papers divided by all SCI papers contributed by the Chinese authors. You can see this percentage, there used to be 40%, quickly declining. Now it's only about 7%. Okay, and the most of all SCI papers was published in international journals worldwide. Okay, so only very small fraction of it published in the journals based on China. So it's an issue to raise the level of the journal based in China. And you can also see the contributions from scholarly output from the different regions in the world has also changed very rapidly. So this is statistics from the Elsevier, is via Scopus, SciVol. That is the contribution from Asia is the largest source from of the global contribution. The contribution from Asia Pacific become larger and larger, and so that is a geographic gap of the contributors of the scholarly outcome, and also the journal publishers of the scholarly outcome. Under this situation, so there are several people, they raise these people to submit journal to international journal. Why not just go for their domestic journals? And we should ban the journals to publish in international journals. So this is what the protective viewpoint. Another viewpoint is the openness. That is, the science is a global endeavor. And I want to quote Her Excellency Mr. Xi Jinping's remark during the Davos agenda in the year 2021, said that China will think and act with more openness with regard to international exchange and cooperation on science and technology. We'll work with other countries to create an open, fair, equitable, and a non-discriminative environment for scientific and technological advancement that is beneficial to all and shared by all. I think this is a good positive attitude for that. So we are now working on the aspect of open science. Just this year, I wrote a paper called The Open and Inclusive Science, a Chinese Perspective. It was published just recently in a journal called The Culture of Science. So in that paper, I use a two-dimensional representation for the open and inclusive science. For example, in the horizontal axis, we marked openness. That is the openness of the final result of the research. And in the vertical axis, this is the axis for the inclusiveness. That is for the participation, the inclusive participation of the process of research. So according to these two axes, and the whole plan can be divided into 4 quadrants. The quadrant 1 is the global science, it's driven by Commonwealth. The quadrant 2 is what we call organized research. And the results are not shared. So this is computation driven. The quadrant 3 is what we call the private research. The research process is not inclusive, and the research results are not shared. So that is a profit-driven research. It will be featured by the intellectual property protection. And the quadrant 4 is what we call the blue sky research, and it's driven by curiosity. So the research process is by individual researchers. It's not shared very much. It's not inclusive. Not a lot of people going on working on same problem. But the result will be shared by the whole world. So that is a curiosity-driven research. So what we call the esteemed publication is for this quadrant, and a part of this quadrant. Okay, so that we call the open and inclusive research. So in terms of the total and the open access, in terms of the percentage of the world, I will share you the percentage of the open access articles from China. So that's this brown curve has growing up very steadily and just reach 20% percentage of the world. At the same time, the percentage of US open access goes down from very high value of more than something like 44% down to now something like 17%. And the percentage from Europe for open access is steadily moving up. Now is 37%. So that is the trend for open access. That's US down, European up, and China up. So this is the situation. So for the terms of international collaboration, that means how many of your articles are made by authors of different countries. So that percentage, you can see the highest one is United Kingdom and also Germany. And the European Union is very, very high. And China is slightly increasing. It's from 15% more than 20 years ago, now something like 23%. So that is also, the international collaboration is also growing up. Not very fast, but so this is also the trend. So we are now in an era to try to shaping our own China-based world-class STEM journals. So we have a national team that is try to promote the China-based STEM journals with the global impact. So we select a cluster of journals, and some of them are we call the flagship journals, some kind of key journals, some of them is the backup journals, and so on. And we're doing reform to introduce more young, aggressive international editors, and to make the strategy to raise the impact factor. And we use open access to promote the readabilities of the journals. And we will speed up the peer rate, we call it fast and furious. And if we have a flagship journal, we try to build upon it a hierarchical structures of journals. So through this drive, you can see in the past 3 years, the contribution from China is growing, and you can see this is for the SCI journals, and in the year 2018, so we are 55 journals in Q1, and this number become 81, and in 2019 and become 96 in the year 2020. So that is very fast, and the high impact STEM journals from 2018 to 2020, you can see this all curves are going up. And also we are now trying to make the Chinese-based journals be cited globally. So this is also to try to, with the help of international editors, with more international authors to publish in the China-based STEM journals and so on. And after that, we are now thinking about creating new digital resources. That means the new assembly, new data, new platform, new media, and a new metrics. And for example, the NSFC has built a repository, which is all the paper sponsored by the NSF group, past their work in past their publications in this repository. The global contribution of scholarly outcome. This part are the scholarly outcome supported, sponsored by NSFC. So this is the largest amount. In terms of the absolute value of the articles supported, acknowledge the support of NSFC, you can see this is quite large, much larger than NIH and NSF. And I'm also in the Scopus local panel of Scopus I'm the chair of the Chinese panel. And currently is 953 China journal is actively indexed in Scopus. It is a big number, but we are not satisfied with that. And if this number goes 2,000, maybe we are satisfied. Okay, and so the content selection advisory board, it has a joint meeting in the year 2019 in Beijing. And so this is myself, this is Olga, and these are the members of the contact selection advisory board. So we are jointly talk about how to collaborate. And you can see since the form of the China advisory board, the formed in between the 2017 and 2018, and we have a very accelerated increase of the new journals. And this is their own the elsewhere's the statistics. They said about 107 new China journals come in Scopus, and 115 new China journals come to the Scopus in the year 2021. So these are very rapid growth. So we want to keep this pace, 100 every year. And if we continue for another 10 years, so then we got the 2,000 Chinese journal in Scopus. And also cover more and more subjects of Scopus. And the side score is also raised gradually. It will take some process. So now we come into the era of open science. So the last year, the UNESCO 40th General Conference has signed the recommendation on open science. And with these core values, one value is the equity and the fairness. That means it should be fair, and the scientific input and output and equal access to scientific knowledge without consider the border of countries, the race, and the genders, and so on. So keep on, okay. And you can see the open access publication from China, and it's also a very large extent. And the blue part is the open access publication supported by the funding agency. You can see we are support the largest percentage of the open access papers by National Natural Science Foundation of China. And currently we'll have a United Nations STI forum. That forum will be held in the 4th of May of this year. And we invited a lot of well-known peoples in publication. For example, the Mr. Chi is the chairman of Elsevier, and Dr. Thomas is the president of the Greater China of Springer Nature. It's also the president of the book division of the Springer Nature. And this lady here is the Assistant Director General of UNESCO, and she is one advocate for the open science. And this my friend, Romain Morency. He is the executive officer of the World Academy of Science. And we have two ladies representing the women science committee from China. So she is the president of the women scientists in China. I think that's all. I'll thank you. Hope for the success of the country. So this is the place where I stay and work, and it is called Hangzhou. We call it the paradise in the world. So this is the center of the town, and it is not a painting; it's a picture. Thank you for your attention.